I am old now, not in years alone, but in the way a tree becomes old, its bark thickened, its roots deepened, its branches knowing which winds to bend with and which to let pass through. I have lived through wars and peace, through the deaths of children and the silence that follows, through illness and recovery and illness again. And I have learned slowly what perhaps you are learning now, that most of what we suffer in our minds. There was a time when I believed I could shape the world through will alone. I thought that if I worked hard enough, planned carefully enough, held tightly enough to what I loved, I could keep everything in its place. I thought control was possible. I thought control was virtue. But the years teach what youth cannot imagine. They teach that the hand that grasps too tightly holds nothing at all. Let me speak plainly. You cannot control your body. You cannot stop your knees from aching or your sight from dimming. You cannot command your heart to beat strongly forever, or your breath to come easily when it no longer wishes to. This is not failure. This is nature. The body is like a house you have rented for a time. You may care for it, you may repair what you can, but you do not own it. And one day, the lease ends. To rage against this is to rage against the fact that winter follows autumn, that night follows day. You cannot control other people. Not your children, though you raised them. Not your spouse, though you have lived beside them for decades. Not your friends, not your neighbors, not the world. They will make choices you do not understand. They will turn away when you wish them to stay close. They will worry you. They will disappoint you. And you will lie awake at night, your mind turning over what you should have said, what you should have done, how you might yet change them. But you cannot. You never could. To spend your mind on this is to pour water into sand. You cannot control the world beyond your door. You cannot make it slower or quieter or more familiar. You cannot keep it the way it was when you were young. The prices will rise, the customs will change. The faces in the street will be strange to you. The words people use will shift, and you will not always understand them. This too is nature. The river flows. To stand in it and demand that it hold still is to exhaust yourself for nothing. So what then can you control? Only this, how you meet what comes. Only this, where you place your attention. Only this, what you make of the thoughts that arise in your mind. This is not a small thing. This is everything. Listen carefully. The event itself is neutral. The thing that happens, it simply is. Your child moves far away. Your body weakens. A friend dies. The world changes. These are facts. They have no meaning until you give them meaning. And the meaning you give them, that is where your suffering is born. Not in the event, but in what you tell yourself about the event. You tell yourself, I am alone now. You tell yourself, my body is betraying me. You tell yourself, the world has become cold and I do not belong in it anymore. You tell yourself, I have been forgotten. And these thoughts, repeated again and again, become a kind of prison. You wake into them each morning. You carry them through the day. They shape everything you see. But here is what I learned and what I offer to you now. These thoughts are not facts. They are interpretations. And you can choose different interpretations, not false ones, not lies you tell yourself to feel better, but truer ones, simpler ones, ones that align with what is, rather than with what you wish were. Your child has moved far away. The truer thought, they are living their own life as they must. You did not raise them to orbit you forever. You raised them to grow, and they have grown. This is success, not abandonment. Your body is weakening. The truer thought, all bodies weaken. This is not a betrayal. This is the bargain you made when you were born. You were given years, many years, if you are reading this now in your later life, and those years were never promised to be endless. You have had your time of strength. Now you have your time of softening. This too has its own quiet dignity. The world has changed, and you feel like a stranger in it. The truer thought, the world has always been changing. When you were young, your parents felt this way too, and their parents before them. Change is not a sign that something has gone wrong. Change is the nature of life. You do not need to understand everything. You do not need to keep pace. You only need to stand where you are and meet this day as it comes. See how the suffering loosens when you loosen the thought. See how the mind can rest when it stops insisting that reality be other than it is. There was a time when I would wake in the night and rehearse my fears. I would imagine my children in danger. I would imagine disgrace, failure, pain. I would imagine my own death and the deaths of those I loved. And I believed I was preparing myself. I believed this vigilance was wisdom. But it was not wisdom. It was torment. I was spending my mind on shadows. I was exhausting myself fighting battles that had not occurred and might never occur. If you do this, and I think you do because this is what minds do when they are not trained, then hear me now. You must stop. Not because your fears are foolish, but because they are useless. The future has not arrived. When it does, you will meet it. You have met every difficulty in your life so far, haven't you? You have survived every hard day up until now. You will survive the next one too, or you will not. But either way, rehearsing it in your mind at night changes nothing except your peace. Practice this. When the fearful thought arises, notice it. Say to yourself, this is a thought about the future. The future is not here. I am here. And here, in this moment, I am safe. My breath is moving. My heart is beating. I am alive. This is enough. Do this again and again, not once, not twice, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, because the mind is like a path through a forest. The thoughts you think most often become the clearest path. If you have spent years walking the path of worry, that path is wide and smooth, and your feet will find it without effort. You must make a new path. You must walk it until it, too, becomes smooth. This is the work. This is the only work that matters. You may say, but I have real things to worry about. My health is failing. My money is limited. My children are troubled. My partner is distant. These are not imaginary problems. And I say, yes, these are real. But worry does not solve them. Worry is not the same as planning. Worry is not the same as care. Worry is the mind spinning in place, exhausting itself, solving nothing. If there is something you can do, do it. If your health is failing, see the doctor. If your money is limited, adjust your spending. If your children are troubled, offer what help they will accept, and no more. If your partner is distant, speak kindly, or let them have their distance if that is what they need. Act on what is within your control, then release what is not. And what is not within your control is almost everything. You cannot control whether the treatment works. You cannot control whether your money will be enough. You cannot control whether your children will accept your help or your partner will soften toward you. You can only control your own actions, your own words, your own inner stance. And even there, you must be gentle with yourself. You will forget. You will fall back into worry. You will lie awake spinning stories of disaster. This is not failure. This is being human. You simply begin again. I think often now about how much of my life I spent trying to hold things together, trying to keep my family safe, trying to keep my responsibilities met, trying to keep my reputation intact, trying to keep my body strong. And I did hold things together for a time, but the effort was immense. And in the end, everything I tried to hold fell apart anyway, or changed into something I did not recognize. Because that is what things do. They change. They fall apart. They end. And I have learned that this is not a tragedy. This is simply the truth of existence. The tragedy is spending your life resisting it. You are older now, as I am. Your body is not what it was. Your role in the world is not what it was. The people you love may be gone, or changed, or distant. You may feel that your time of significance has passed. You may feel invisible. You may feel that you are merely waiting now, waiting for the end, and that this waiting is empty. But I tell you this time, this late time, can be the freest time of your life. Because you no longer have to prove anything. You no longer have to build anything. You no longer have to impress anyone or meet anyone's expectations, not even your own. You can simply be. When you were young, you had to strive. You had to make your way in the world. You had to establish yourself. You had to earn your place. This was necessary, but it was also exhausting. And now, if you will allow it, you can rest from that striving. Not because you have failed, but because you have completed that chapter. Your worth is not measured by what you produce anymore. Your worth is not measured by your usefulness to others. Your worth is intrinsic. You exist. You have lived. You have loved and suffered and endured. That is enough. That has always been enough. Let yourself be old. Let yourself be slow. Let yourself forget names and lose your train of thought and need to sit down more often. Let yourself say no to invitations you do not wish to accept. Let yourself be less than you were, in body, in ambition, in the eyes of the world. Because what you are losing in those ways, you are gaining in others. You are gaining in clarity. When you have fewer years ahead of you than behind you, you see more clearly what matters. The petty concerns fall away. The grudges seem foolish. The pride seems hollow. What remains is simpler. Love, if you have it. Kindness, quiet. The small pleasures that were always there, but that you were too busy to notice. You are gaining in acceptance. When you are young, you believe you can reshape your life into something perfect. When you are old, you see that your life is what it is, and there is a deep relief in this. You stop fighting the shape of your own existence. You stop wishing you had made different choices. You see that the path you walked was the only path you could have walked, and it has brought you here, and here is where you are meant to be. You are gaining in peace if you will allow yourself to gain it, because peace is not something that happens to you. Peace is something you choose, again and again, in each moment. You choose to release the thought that torments you. You choose to return to what is, rather than what you fear or what you wish. You choose to let your mind rest on this breath, this moment, this small kindness, this simple fact of being alive. I know you are afraid. I know you lie awake worrying about your health, your loved ones, your own death. I know you feel the loneliness of age, the sense that the world has moved on without you. I know you carry regrets. I know you wonder if you did enough, loved enough, lived enough. But I ask you to consider this. What would it be like to release those thoughts even for a moment? What would it be like to say to yourself, I am here, I am breathing, I am enough? What would it be like to let the fear pass through you like wind through branches, without grasping at it, without making a story of it? This is not optimism. This is not pretending that everything is fine when it is not. This is something deeper. This is alignment with what is. This is the understanding that you are not separate from nature. You are nature. Your aging is natural. Your death, when it comes, is natural. The changes you resist are not aberrations. They are the way of all things. And when you align yourself with this, when you stop fighting the current of life and allow yourself to float in it, there is a kind of peace that is deeper than happiness. It is not dependent on circumstances. It is not dependent on your body being comfortable or your loved ones being near or the world being kind. It is the peace of acceptance, the peace of release, the peace of knowing that you need not control anything, because control was always an illusion. You have carried so much for so long. You have held your family together. You have met your obligations. You have endured losses and betrayals and disappointments. You have pushed through when you were tired. You have kept going when you wanted to stop. And you did all of this because you thought you had to. Because you thought that if you relaxed your grip, everything would fall apart. But it will fall apart anyway, or it will not. And either way, your suffering about it changes nothing except your own heart. So I say to you now, as an old man to another who has walked this long road, it is time to put down the burden. Not the responsibilities you still have, those you carry lightly, as you are able. But the burden of needing life to be different than it is, the burden of needing your body to obey you, the burden of needing your loved ones to choose as you would choose, the burden of needing the world to make sense, the burden of needing to be safe from death. These burdens are made of thought, and thought can be released. Sit quietly. Let the thought arise. I am afraid. I am lonely. I am failing. Let it arise and do not fight it. Watch it the way you would watch a cloud passing across the sky. It comes, it changes shape, it moves on. You do not grab at the cloud. You do not say, "This cloud should not be here." You let it pass. Do the same with your thoughts. This is not easy. I do not pretend it is easy. I have practiced this for many years and I still forget. I still find myself caught in stories of fear and regret. But I return. Again and again, I return. And each time I return, the path becomes clearer. The peace becomes more familiar. The grip of the painful thought loosens. You have lived long enough to know that nothing lasts. Your strength did not last. Your beauty did not last. Your youth did not last. The people you loved, some of them did not last. The world you knew did not last. Everything changes, everything passes, and this is not something to mourn. This is the nature of being alive. You were never promised permanence. You were only promised this moment, and this one, and this one. Each breath a small gift, each morning a beginning, each night an ending that allows the next day to come. Learn to live in the moment you are in, not the moment you wish you were in, not the moment you fear is coming. This moment, right now. What is here? Perhaps pain, perhaps loneliness, perhaps weariness, but also breath, also stillness, also the fact that you are alive, that your heart is beating, that you have survived every difficulty so far. This is not small. This is the foundation of peace. When your mind wanders to the future, to the fears of what might come, sickness, poverty, loss, death, bring it back. The future is not here. When your mind wanders to the past, to the choices you regret or the words you wish you had said, or the love you wish you had given, bring it back. The past is not here. Only this is here. Only now. And in this moment, in this single moment, you are almost always safe. The disaster your mind imagines has not occurred. The pain you fear has not yet arrived. Here, now, you are breathing. You are alive. And that is enough. I do not ask you to be grateful for your suffering. I do not ask you to pretend that aging is easy or that loss does not hurt. I only ask you to see that the suffering is compounded by the stories you tell about it. The body weakens, this is pain, but the thought, "I am useless now," is suffering. The friend dies, this is grief, but the thought, "I will never feel joy again," is suffering. The world changes, this is disorientation, but the thought, "I do not belong here anymore," is suffering. Separate the pain from the suffering. Meet the pain with as much grace as you can, but release the suffering. Release the stories. Come back to what is simple and true. You are old. You are mortal. You are no longer strong. The people you love will go their own way. The world will continue to change. You cannot stop any of this. But you can choose where your mind rests. You can choose to come back again and again to the simplicity of this breath, this moment, this small, quiet fact of being alive. And in that choice, which you make 1,000 times a day, 10,000 times, you will find what you have been looking for all along. Not control, not certainty, not permanence, but peace. The deep, steady peace of aligning yourself with what is, rather than exhausting yourself wishing for what cannot be. I am old now. My body does not obey me. My time is short. The world is not the world I knew when I was young, and I have finally learned to let it be so. I have finally learned that peace is not found by controlling life. Peace is found by choosing where the mind rests. I rest it here, in this breath, in this moment, in the simple, undeniable fact that I am alive, and that is enough, and I invite you to rest yours here too.